Coming up on our show this week, we hit the high seas for an Alaska-size adventure. It's time for our annual AAA cruise, and it begins by exploring the state's largest city of Anchorage and some of the fantastic sights just outside of town. Then we join our fellow cruisers on our private train for a 5-hour spectacle of beauty as we head to the port of Seward and our ship, Holland America Zaandam. From here, we set sail for spectacular Glacier Bay National Park, where we are escorted in by a pod of killer whales, and we spend the day watching in wonder.
Boom, you see that?
Then we'll finish up in Ketchikan, where fishing boats troll the waters, seaplanes patrol the skies, and our AAA cruisers hit the bullseye with a stop at the Great Alaskan Lumberjack Show. We're building a full head of steam, so let's put this week's show on cruise control. Hello and welcome to our show for this week and the stunning beauty of Alaska. You know, they call Alaska the last frontier, but it is first in my book when it comes to the most spectacular scenery you can find really anywhere. Now, we've come to the north because it's time for our annual AAA members cruise, but we've come early, a couple of days early, because if you're going to come this far, you have to take advantage of your trip. So we flew into Anchorage for a couple of days because it's a great place to start. It's the state's largest city. It has the largest airport, fine dining, great hotels and places to stay, including bed and breakfast, and terrific seafood. But to see the best of Alaska, enjoy Anchorage, but you have to get out of town, and this is what you get. Our Explorers Trail took us southeast out of Anchorage to the popular Alyeska Resort, best known as Alaska's most popular ski resort, but also popular in the summer and the fall.
Well, just to let you know a little bit about our tram, that's the Turnagain Arm over there, and those mountains on the opposite side, that's the Kenai Peninsula, where you guys rode the train last night, yeah?
The tram runs about every 15 minutes to the top, and on the day we visited, there was a mountain marathon going on where the fit among us were hiking to the top as many times as they could in a single day. Last year's winner did it 12 times, which is exactly 12 times more than we did, but heck, we got there and we had the same spectacular view. We even had to look down to see the airplanes. Parasailing is another popular activity we discovered here, but no matter what you do or how you get here, everyone shares the same great Alaska scenery in all directions. Our next stop was in Whittier, where we enjoyed a reindeer dog before boarding Phillips Cruises' Klondike Express for a 5-hour glacier and wildlife jet boat tour.
You're in what's called a fjord right here, and if you look at the mountainsides over there, see how fast they come down? Well, they come down here that same way. Right now we're already in 660, 696 feet of water.
What a great introduction this was to Alaska. We saw several humpback whales as they gracefully went about their day. Everyone loved the sea otters because they look so cute and cuddly. Eagles soared overhead, and our fellow passengers loved all the stellar sea lions we saw, and we saw a bunch. And of course, we got our first full view of a true Alaska icon, the mighty glaciers that make the last frontier such a vacation paradise.
Now that one's a pretty good sized glacier. It's 2 miles across the face of that glacier. It's over 2 miles from the edge of the ocean over to the base of the glacier.
First time you get to see something like this, you're in awe, and I may never be able to come back again, so I wanted to make sure I got to see at least one glacier.
To do it right.
Yeah.
So that's been a great introduction to Anchorage in Southeast Alaska. And now our adventure of boats, planes, and now trains continue as we get ready to head to Seward and catch the Holland America cruise that we'll be hosting with all our friends from AAA. 553?
553,
This is
welcome
the place.
aboard.
Thank you. The Alaska train was really the beginning of our Holland America Line cruise. This was a private train for Zaandam passengers only, and it gave everyone a chance to start meeting their fellow travelers. The train also allowed us to share in the excitement of discovery as we soaked in the Alaska scenery during our 5-hour journey to Seward and our ship.
Here's a really good shot. You get the river and the icebergs, the glacier.
And with unparalleled views from our dome cars, Alaska was delivering. Part of the fun was emerging from numerous tunnels and just waiting to see what Mother Nature had to offer us next. And then before we knew it, there it was, the Holland America Line's Zaandam, and the place that will be our home for the next week. If you're planning a big trip like an Alaska cruise, you may want to consider travel insurance. Our AAA travel experts tell me it's important to discuss your needs at the time of booking or before final payment. Travel insurance rates are typically 4 to 8% of the cost of your trip. You should make sure your policy includes trip cancellation, trip interruption, and medical coverage in case of weather delays or if you become ill and have to be flown home. AAA travel agents are well versed in all phases of travel, and they're happy to answer any of your questions. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, it's a welcome toast to our AAA travelers as we get a full head of steam for our Glacier Discovery cruise on board Holland America's Zaandam. It will be an incredible week ahead.